What's up? I'm Aidan. We're here at Myself Build, and I'm just going to do a quick episode, answer some questions, give some plans, some costings, and a few more details about our future home. It's our future home because that's what this is for the near term at least. We're going to stay here for an absolute minimum of 3 years, otherwise we will have to pay the community infrastructure levy, which amounts to £46,000. That's not something we want to do. Once it's completed, it's 3 years stay here minimum. I'd like to probably stay longer. I do have a lot of plans. I want to build like a tiny house on the trailer. I want to build a cabin. I want to build a big garage. There's lots of stuff that I could do here, but ultimately it's whether it's economically viable and worth it in the long term. Long term, I would like to have a glamping business with like rustic cabins, etc. Lou would like to live in a big Georgian house, so that's not this, is it? So it's going to have to be sold at some point. Maybe we'll be able to stay up to maybe 10 years, but I need to make some money somehow. So I don't really particularly want to work for anyone else anymore. I like my own business, but I'm not really sure what to do at the moment. So I'm just cracking on with this, and Lou's in London and she'll be joining me shortly as soon as I get the cart lodge done. So that's the plan, finish the cart lodge up the top, because I pretty much live here at the moment in the touring caravan, which isn't too much fun, and Lou needs to let the flat out in London to come here and live with me. Hopefully we get to spend a bit more time together, and with our little boy Arthur. He's a little Frenchie if you haven't seen him already. Ideally we'd like to have a family. We have been trying for many years. It's been unsuccessful so far. The main house is on hold, and that's my main job at the moment. I'm not a builder, I don't have a trade, I just have a go, and there's not many things that I won't try and tackle. I used to work in an office before, but that doesn't mean to say that you can't do practical things. You just need to work it out, and you just apply yourself, and more than likely you might do a better job than a trained professional. So if you ever fancy doing a self-build and you're going to do it like me, just prepare yourself. It is really stressful, especially when you're doing a lot of stuff yourself. I'm constantly spinning plates, juggling exactly what I need to do when, and I'm a one-man band, so it's hard. It is hard, and it doesn't help that suppliers are not very good. I've already been through Build Base and Hughes Gray Ridgeons, and I'm not using either of them now. I've had massive issues with Hughes Gray Ridgeons, even to the point where I've been in contact with their managing director a couple of times now. I'm not going to use them anymore. We're on to Travis Perkins now. The manager did come down to meet me when I said I want to set up an account, so hopefully that's going to be all good, and hopefully you'll be able to sort out the missing insulation that I haven't received from the other builders merchants. Just because I'm sorting out the car lodge doesn't mean I'm not doing anything in the house at all. One of the things I need to sort out for the house is the windows, so I'm dealing with that at the moment. I've not had much luck with window firms, and I've come to the realisation that probably the best thing to do is just fucking do it myself, basically. I'm going to get the window frames directly from Origin now. They just literally called me and they're setting me up a trade account, even though obviously it's not my trade or anything, but it might end up being. I'll get the frames from them. I'm sure it'll be quite straightforward, and then I just need to sort out a glass company, and we'll see how that works out. Obviously, if you've subscribed and you've pushed the bell notification, at some point you're going to see that video. We'll see how much money I save. And talking of saving money, we might as well talk about spending money. This solar setup, £6 all in. I've justified the size of my cart lodge on my planning application on the basis of this solar setup. and the amount of carbon it's going to offset over the next few years. The government and local government, they all have their target emissions, so I would imagine it kind of helped my application, but I'm not really sure. And just at my borehole, because it's relevant to the next decision that I made, this setup cost me £10,000. No, I haven't ever run out of water, it's been fine. I do need to get it serviced shortly, but I'm going to wait until we've finished the cart lodge before we actually do that, and I'm going to watch them actually do it so I can do it myself in the future. The ground here was really hard when I done the ditch for this, and it was full of flint, so we was originally going to go for a ground source heat pump on the main house, but it's very expensive. I was going to keep the cost down by doing the ditching myself and doing the slinkies. After dealing with this, I decided it's probably not worth it, so I'm going to go for an air source heat pump on the main house now, and that's going to cost £10,000. And some of that equipment is going to go in here, which is where my plant room is located. The air source heat pump leads us to a completion date of the end of March 2022. That's because we want to qualify for the renewable heat incentive scheme set up by the government, which will repay us a certain proportion of the cost of the air source heat pump over 7 years. Fingers crossed we make that date. Today is the end of July 2021, so we'll see what happens. With that kind of setup, we need a underfloor heating, which is going to come to £2,000. That's just for the equipment, and then I'm going to fit that myself. And to really make it worthwhile, with air tightness, U values, etc., we're going to go for an heat ventilation recovery system. That's probably going to come out to about £6,000. I'm going to obviously attempt, or I will fit that myself. I also need to get 3 quotes to replace that roof now. The manufacturer's going to pay for everything. What a bloody nightmare. I'm going to leave it there. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, hit the bell notification. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.